Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Carl, and in this video we'll be looking at passing data from our controller to our partial classes in our dashboard. Now, I'm going to use demo data for this. So I'm just going to declare a tuple over here. And if you don't know what a tuple is, it's a complex data structure, but it's not a class or a structure. I find it really nice for using in tutorials or demos or stuff like that. And I'm just going to call this data equals. And for the first one, we'll be saying item 1. And for the second one, we'll just do that, just for, comedy's sake. So after this, we're going to say view bag dot, and I'm going to say big data. Now, there's other ways of doing this. You can also use, what is this? View data, which I think is a dictionary, and then you can say data equals to there, or you can just say viewbag.data equals data. Now, this will be automatically mapped, so that won't be an issue. Yeah, that's all we need to do here. Now, this data doesn't need to be a tuple. It can be of type anything. So I'm quickly going to show what this does, and then I'm going to elaborate on this. So in demo chart 1, because it's going to be a partial class of our dashboard, it's going to have access to the same view bag, which means this view bag is going to get passed to dashboard, which is then going to pass it to demo chart 1 and demo chart 2. Now, one problem I have with this is because it's not strongly typed, the computer is not going to recognize that, okay, viewbag.data is a tuple of type string and string. So over in our partial views, we're going to need to make sure we type it in the right way. So what I'm going to do here is under demo chart 1, I'm just going to switch this to instead of H1 and H3, just to make it a little bit easier on the eyes. And then on top of the canvas, I'm going to say add view bag. Where is this? There we go. And we said capital D for data. And we're going to say item 1. Now, this is because of how the tuple is structured. We're going to, okay, technically this should be item 2 because it's demo chart 2. So in a tuple, we have item 1 and item 2, which means if I'm going to go here and data dot item 1, item 2. Now, keep in mind, it's a capital letter I, and if you don't use a tuple, your stuff is going to look different, obviously. And over here, I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to pass it into demo chart 1, and I'm going to request item 1. So I'm quickly going to run this. And over here, we have the things we passed in. So as you can see, the data we passed into our controller is now in our partial views. If I were to F12, just make this bigger. If I were to go into here, you'd see we have a table, and over here we have a table row for those two things we put in there. And then in our body, we would have the HTML that's being rendered. So we have demo chart 1 and item 1. That is the thing we put into, or we asked to be rendered, and then we have the canvas. Now, this is messing up a little bit because of the way the HTML is structured. You can fix this with grids, or because we're going to use charts.js, we're not going to show item 1. So that should be fine. And when we have the corresponding script area. And the same for item 2. So I'm quickly going to talk about what we can do within our controller. So most likely what you're going to do is within the constructor of this, you're going to have your service. Now, if you don't know how to set up a service within, or a dependency injection service within your MVC project, I highly recommend to go watch tutorials on that. Basically, what you're going to have is, in your startup, you're going to have services.add singleton and the class you want to add a singleton of. And within your controller, within its constructor, we're going to say basically data logic. Now, I don't have that imported yet, and I'm going to say underscore logic, and then I can create a field up here, blah, blah, blah. We're going to do that in the next video, or maybe the video after that. It depends. The reason I showed you that real quick is because I'm using hard-coded data. You're not going to do that. You're going to await data from your service, which is going to look something like this. You're going to say var data equals await service dot get data. And what you're going to do then is you're going to say, okay, listen, viewback.data equals data. Now, because we're going to do dashboard, I highly recommend planning ahead really far, because I'm going to use maybe 3 or 4 different charts, which means I'm going to say viewback.chart1, or gender chart, or age chart, and then I'm going to set that to the data I retrieved. Now, me personally, within the backend of my project, within my business logic, let's say data logic, which is an abstraction of a class. Over here, I'm going to put all my custom data logic, where I can retrieve data analytics or stuff I want to display. And over here, I can call that through the service, and then I can display it using charts.js. Now, the next video will be charts.js. So for some reason, I'm struggling to pronounce today. And that'll be it. If you have any questions, suggestions, or comments, just leave it in the comment section, and I will see you later.